Hi, guys. Welcome to our first podcast, Destination in Dollars. I'm excited to have Sydney Brown here. We're going to talk about the world of finance and the world of travel at the same time. Hi, Sydney. How are you doing?
Hi, good. Happy to be
Excellent.
here.
Good, good, good. Well, we're excited to kick off this podcast series. I want to make sure that we always keep in mind that making money is always a good thing. And I know travel is a good thing. Sydney, can you kind of talk to us about your experiences traveling, first of all? How well how many places have you been? Can you count how many places you've been so far?
I don't know if I can count them on my hands, but I've had a lot of really good experiences traveling all over the world, whether it's an island or the mountains or the beach. I've had a lot of great experiences traveling, and it's been really fun so far.
Excellent, excellent. Now, let me say this, guys. Cindy's my daughter, and she has been traveling her entire life. Um, and I think, Cindy, what your favorite is probably the mountains in Arizona. I think you really like that,
Yeah.
and the beach of Miami.
Yeah,
So those again, Jamaica was fun for you, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Those are definitely my top three places, and the Bahamas.
and the Bahamas. I tell you
Yeah.
what, Cindy, the culture of the people is, I think, one of the most intriguing things when we get out and travel and go to other places of the world. Seeing the natives, right? Kind of their
Mhm.
humility of the world and the way they view the world is definitely humble and a humbling experience, right?
It's really interesting to see how they live their life and how the world looks to them. And when we're on their island, they're extremely inviting and they show us everything, and like it makes us kind of feel like locals to some extent. Um, but I think that they're just really, really good. They have really good character, and they like to share their island and their experiences with us travelers.
Yep. I tell you, and I'm always reminded when I'm there the importance of life because I think when you go to these islands, they don't have this push and go and faster and stronger and more. They have to me, they have the demeanor of, hey, I'm happy to be alive and my family's here. We're excited. We don't need all that stuff. And it's just a different world. I mean, of course, it depends on where you go. But I think that's something that's always humbling and it's quite an experience. Now, that's quite different from where we are now. We're in beautiful Las Vegas.
Yeah,
There's nothing but lights and shining stuff here. So it's a we're in a different environment here. I'm telling you that right now. It's exciting here in Vegas. And I think it's a popular destination for a lot of people out there. A lot of people love Vegas. And hey, what's there not to like? There's lights, there's camera and action everywhere. So
yeah.
shows and the restaurants here is just unbelievable. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah.
Even last night, Sydney, you had an experience with Live nightclub.
Yes.
Hey, Sydney, tell them how much it costs to get on the stage at the Live nightclub.
It costs $10,000 to be on
ten
the
thousand
stage.
dollars. And how much did it cost to dance on the dance floor?
7,000.
Can you guys imagine that? $10,000 to get on the stage and 7,000. And Sydney showed me pictures, guys. It was packed. I mean, hundreds of people. So obviously, there's people in the U.S. doing extremely well to be able to do stuff like that, right?
Yep, exactly.
So
Yep.
that's where the finance part comes into play on this podcast. I want to tackle the barriers and roadblocks keeping us from investing because, hey, guys, I know you can make money and be successful when you're able to invest, right? Some people can go out on these corporate jobs or these business, you can be a business owner, very successful. But we know there's this thing called a pyramid, right? There's just a few people that can be there. You only need so many vice presidents, so many CEOs. They call it C-suite, CIO, CEO, CEO, all these people. So the vast majority of people are kind of like on a lower end of the pyramid, racing, trying to make it happen, trying to make it go. And it's just very hard for them to get to a point where they can pay $7,000 or $10,000 to get on stage. And that thing was packed with people that did not look like us. So that's true, Sydney, from the video I saw.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's,
Yeah.
it's true. I ain't talking about celebrities. And we always say, well, so I talk about 10 to 20 to 50 celebrities. I'm talking about the millions of people
There
who
are
are
no
living.
celebrities there. It's just
Yeah,
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 it's just
there.
normal people.
I'm saying on their side. But when you start talking about people
Oh,
that look like us, we start thinking about celebrities. I know the majority of our people are probably in the worker class, right? And we need to figure out how do we build wealth for people like that. So that's kind of some of the topics I want us to understand. So, sitting back, ask you a question. Been a young person. You want to talk about yourself real quick? Degree and what do you have a degree in?
okay. So I have a degree in finance, and I also have a degree in fashion merchandising. I was in school for about 5 years, and so I have a lot of just different questions about creating wealth in a different economy than you may have when you had just graduated college.
Yes, sir.
Um, I think inflation has played a big role in things, and having student loans and just the cost of living is a lot higher. Um, so there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that I kind of want to get answered from that perspective.
That's a good question. And those are excellent points. So you mentioned student loans, you mentioned inflation, just getting started in a career. So those are things I want to tackle right now. Let me say this, and even when I train new investors, I get people from all walks of life, right? I get people who want to get on an options trade and put $5,000, $10,000 on a contract on several contracts. And some people who say, hey, I got $100 put on an options contract. Or from an investment standpoint, everybody can go out and buy all the Fortune 500 companies and repetitively do that, especially when it's starting off. So, Cindy, I can say this from a wealth building perspective. I like to tell people it's more important, especially at your age, for people to start with good habits first. A habit costs $0. Can I repeat that? Having great habits costs $0. Right? To me, one of the most fundamental habits is every $3. Now, if you're not making $3, we can stop the conversation. But for every $3 made, $1 should be invested. $1 should go to the cost of living, your bills and all that kind of stuff, and the other dollar can go to fun things, investing. Third, bills and having fun. You notice I put having fun last. Now, a lot of people will do bills first, having fun, and they'll run those same two things for 20 years. And that's what I want people to stop and think about that. So, to answer that question around how do we generate wealth at a young age or getting started with all the mountain of inflation and potential debt coming at you, I would say it takes time to get through that. So, if you're not coming from a wealthy generation or your job that you're starting off with is not paying you a whole astronomical amount of money, I would say that time is going to be the thing that you're going to be able to use to help you get through that, right? It's realizing, hey, it's just going to take time. But in the meantime, I say those the habits of how do you spend your money is going to be more pressing and more important. That's number third of it, pay bills, and then you have fun with the rest of it. So that's kind of from your perspective on that. That's kind of I think a formula to put you in the right path. And when that happens, you can execute that formula between at 24 up to 64. So you're repeating the same process. You keep doing the same thing over and over. And I think that's a fun thing. Now, hey, you're in a beautiful location there, and you want to kind of just turn and let the camera pan, turn around and let's see behind you. Oh my God, that chandelier is beautiful, and that's beautiful back there. And I'm looking at the light picture of this. It's fabulous over there. So, guys, we're
It's
at the
kind of like a
Fontainebleau.
speakeasy.
Say it again.
It's kind of like a speakeasy. Is that how you say it?
Speak easy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
And
there's a
sofas
stage over
there.
here as well.
A
There's a
stage.
little
Is that probably
stage.
exactly what
Yeah.
it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Speak
It's very nice and warm.
right. It's a
Yeah.
place you can go there and have coffee and
Yeah. It's
wake
like a
up and
cafe during the day. During the day, it's a cafe, and at night, it's like a little kind of a club. Like not a
right.
club, but like kind of just more laid back.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, so let me ask you a question. So let me say this. At your age, also, there's so many distractions out there, especially with social media and uh, the pressures of social media. People are presenting certain things, having this sort of lifestyle, doing lifestyle. that's an added pressure, I think, on your from your perspective. How have you been able to drown out the noise? Get your 2 degrees, and hey, you got a business as well. You
Yeah.
have a business,
Yeah.
so of course you're doing great. But what would you recommend to someone your age or maybe younger to
hmm
drown the noise out of the world? Because I think you've done a fabulous job so far. How do they drown out the noise and stay focused on what they're wanting to stay focused on?
Well, I think it can be difficult when you kind of just compare your life to other people, and we have access to like different types of lifestyles that is not our reality. So I think people may start to compare themselves to other people, but to be able to focus on your own reality and creating the reality that you want, I think it's just important to keep your head down and do what you feel is best for you, do what makes you happy, and focus on doing that. So that way you're not even noticing what other people are doing because you're thinking about what you're actually doing in your own reality.
Right.
So,
Kind of run your own race.
yeah,
And,
stay in your own
Cindy,
lane.
that's
Yeah,
actually biblical. It's in the Bible. It's biblical. It says, run your own race. That means stay in your own lane. God has a path for you. But
fact.
some people just can't help it and they just start comparing their lives to other people. And I think when they get to that point, they look within and they're not happy. And they say, well, I need to make myself feel better by trying to find somebody I'm doing better than. And then you find
Yeah,
yourself in a, that's probably the human
yeah,
psychology of it.
psychology.
And
Yeah,
it's just not a good thing, right?
right, right. Because I think it's important just to like you can build yourself up without tearing other people down. You can build yourself up without comparing like other people that may not be doing as well as you think they are. They could be doing very well, but it's
That's
all
right.
about your perspective and your mindset. Like people can be doing extremely well, but you have no idea on the internet because they're actually living their life in real life and not posting everything. So I
That's
think
right.
it's important just to honestly just focus on yourself and like we came here alone, we're gonna leave alone. Like
That's
it's
right.
just important to really hone in. Like you are your own, um, you're your own, and so I just feel like you have to really focus on yourself and
That's right.
just drown out other people. And it's cool to have experiences with other people and meet people. All that's great and fun, but you can't, you know, base your whole life around others to an extent. I don't mean by like I mean like in comparison. Like you can't just compare yourself to other people your entire life, or you'll be looking at other people and you never see yourself. So it's important to just like stay to your not stay to yourself. And it's good to have experiences and everything like that. But I'm just saying it's important to create your own reality and
Right.
actually live in it.
Remain with your own convictions, so to speak. Stay, what you believe in, ride that all the way out with, religious, put your religious spin on it. Just remain with the characteristics of who you are and don't get lost out here because there's so much out here to get lost in. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
when I was coming up, Sydney, I say this all the time. We had a neighborhood, we didn't have cell phones, and and we were fine. We were happy. I mean, if people watching this
Yeah.
podcast will tell you, we didn't wake up missing anything, right? So, as I said before, once I left the house, right, when I was in my first apartment, I walked at the house, didn't have a cell phone. I went to go see the few people I went to go see that day, your
Mhm.
relatives, friends, and you came back home. That was it. There was no posting, there was no, what you call it home, but there's no cell phone tracking, no social media. But we did just fine. So, at the end of the day, I think, we put all this technology on top of life and people live life through technology, but technology is not life. In other words, you have to go out there and experience your own life without relying on social media or technology to create the experiences for you, if that makes sense. Now, you
Yeah.
can use it for entertainment, but you can't use social media to create an experience for yourself. And that's what I think people need to understand. So now, again, I didn't have the temptations that people your age may have because I didn't have the opportunity to have that temptation. Now you guys got the temptation or the access to so many other places. Like I said, I had my own neighborhood I had to deal with or people I went around. Now you got personalities all over the world probably.
Yeah.
That's it's influencing you. So it's going to be
Yeah.
doubly tough you guys to remain in your own conviction. So I
Yeah,
think that's
but
important. Is that correct?
yeah, I mean that's true. But the flip side of it is that it's also nice to see other perspectives and what other people
That's
may be
right.
doing. Like to see like where are people traveling? What is their like favorite go-to meal or just their favorite
Right.
restaurant? Just something like that. I think it's fun to be able to see like what other people are doing, but not to a point where it's
Right.
detrimental to your own reality.
Right. And that's important. So that's being able to utilize social media to your advantage, so to speak. But you have to
Yeah.
be strong enough to be able to do it that way, to be able to do the, utilize social media to see where to go, you know,
Mhm.
what they're eating, restaurants, not use it to create a world that you're not a part of or do something that it's not conducive from a social media standpoint, conducive to your well-being, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's important. So that's a good thing. That's good. That's a good thing. So guys, you see, we're gonna just dive into a lot of different topics from probably from all over the world, and I want this to be a forum for Sydney and I to communicate to you guys so you can get a different perspective, right? Sydney's in her mid 24. I'm older. I'm not gonna throw my age out there, and I have a different view of the world. She has a different view of the world. We're going to bridge the gap for everybody. Now, let me say this about Sydney Brand. Sydney is a finance degree, right? She does options trading. She builds out a stock portfolio, so she can go. She's analyzing stocks. As a matter of fact, she analyzed the most one of the favorite stocks that we have that's grown tremendously. I actually used that stock through my mentorship program, through her analysis work, and we've been investing in that stock forever, and it's made a ton of money with options
Yeah.
and as far as the stock is concerned. So she's very well capable on the financial side as well. So she's got the technical side with her finance degree, but also Sydney's creative, which is very rare for people to have both sides of that brain working. Sydney can go out there and she's designed her own clothing line, custom
Sunglasses.
sunglasses,
Yep.
everything. So she's like both sides of the brain, which is strange. She's a Gemini. I think Geminis can kind of wear different hats. I don't
Have
know.
multiple. Yeah, I do have multiple perspectives on everything,
She
so it
does.
works. Mhm.
So that's a good thing. So she's done some, and you got a couple more licenses that you're working on right now. So, from a technical side, on the financial side, so she's doing some incredible things. So, guys, when we bring you on this podcast, I'm bringing you someone on this podcast that's going to bring you the right information, vetted information, and she's going to give you some good, honest opinions about how some of the stuff is going out here. So she's very opinionated. So I think you guys are going to really gain some insight from Sydney Brown. So she's been great. Of course, you guys know my background. I've been investing, for a long time, and we have these so many products now. And hey, you've helped the brand grow, Sydney, from the
Mhm.
communications perspective,
Yep.
the programs, everything. I tell a lot of people you're like the brains behind a lot of stuff, from the
Yeah.
brochures going out,
The
it's just a
TikToks.
whole lot. Go ahead.
TikToks.
TikTok, everything. Well, all the whole social media platform is
Yeah.
going to use. So she's pushing me in different social media directions, and I'm going to let her lead it because she's going to grow this brand even bigger than what it is. And we're talking about going to Miami with the brand
Yes, for
together.
our retreat.
She's put all that together, man. So we're going to be doing some exciting. We're going to do a podcast from Miami, Florida as well. So it's just going to be exciting. But from the communication standpoint, you know, early at Cyber Investments, even with the elite membership, we had so many problems, not problems, but areas of improvement, getting information out to our investors in a timely manner, where they are able to react and do different things on the market. Sydney helped bridge that gap or solve that issue with our methodology of communication and through text and all these
Yeah.
other things we got going on. So
Yep.
big help, right? And that stuff, listen, when I say that means a lot of money in people's pocket, right? When you get that information instantly in that program, you're able to go out there and react instantly. That's thousands and thousands of dollars that you can make on a trade because you got the information in a timely manner. So, guys, it's not a small feat to go out there and do some of the things that Sydney is doing. So it's great. But she's been trained in this program. She started with the business back in 2016 while you were still in high school. And I've been training you ever since. And I think you've done a fabulous job. And we're going to
Thank you.
keep taking this thing to bigger and bigger heights and bigger directions, right? I'm telling you guys, we've already broken records. Man, I said it seems like I say that every year, but January, February, we're in March now. We have broken records with new investors, all kinds of things. So product sales, everything's just going out the roof strictly because you are the brains behind it and helping us make this thing go. So I appreciate you for that. So we're going to bring some great insight. Even this podcast idea is something that you have helped put together. So thank you for being part of the team and making this thing go the way it's been going. So Sadie, I'm excited. And you get to talk to people your age. Listen, people out there, I want young investors out here like Sydney. Let me say this, Sydney, really quick. Early 20s, you're investing $20 a week in Fortune 500 companies. You keep doing that with the ideal concept of compounding interest. I can have your young people at 40 sitting down somewhere. How many? And you say, "Oh man, it's a long time." How many people you know that's 40 years old got $1 million put away? I want to ask that to everybody in our community. Do you know 40-year-olds with $1 million? People are like, well, I know such and such. No, no, no. We're supposed to know so many you can't count on your fingers. We don't need to call everybody call the same guy's name. Well, so and so make it. Everybody's calling. No, everybody can make it. That's the sort of thing I want to raise the bar for us to understand. Everybody can fill a dance floor and live. $10,000 to get on stage, just like it was packed last night, right?
It was packed. It was
Packed.
packed.
Everybody down there paid $10,000 each. They didn't look like us, guys. I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna be honest in this podcast. 7,000 to dance on the dance floor. They didn't look like us. It was hundreds of them. 7,000. Tell about the line item on the receipt you saw, Sydney. How much did that one line item cost?
One line item was like $1,000. I think they probably paid for a
One drink
bottle or
or
something.
one bottle. And they were doing like that and just popping bottle again. When we start talking about money like this, people that look like me, you know what they start thinking about? Rappers, entertainers. Well, so and so can do it. These are regular Joe Blows, guys. Do you
Yep.
understand that we can all go out there and make money? We all don't have to dance. We all don't have to bounce a basketball and catch a football.
Or
But
that.
America has told you through the media and entertainment that, hey, this is how y'all make it. And you got all these guys running out there trying to bounce dang on basketball. I actually put up a picture recently on my social media. I said, my mother decided a long time ago, put a suit on that boy and don't put no jersey on. I took a picture with a blue suit on. You know that picture sitting.
Yeah.
I was young, probably 7 years old. My mother put me in a suit, not a basketball jersey. She said, no, you gonna put a suit on. That's what I want you guys to start thinking about your young folks. Okay, put a suit on. Everybody got to bounce basketball. If he can shoot, if he's got that weird talent, sure. But the one most of them need to have a suit on, right? Anyway, let me get on my soapbox
They
there.
should have a white coat on as a doctor or
White coat.
just anything. A scientist, a chemist, anything.
A lot of things to be successful because you got to think about this. God's path did not say everybody's going to go out and entertain people with sports. That's all. You're entertaining others with sports.
Mm-hmm.
God didn't say, all right, you're an entertainer because you look like one. No, I want to be like the Robert Smiths of the world, who's a billionaire investor. Or you can be, engineer, scientists, like you're saying, doctors, all this other stuff out there. So we want to talk about all of that in this podcast, and I want you guys to have the young people involved with us, and let's grow this other entity with Seymour Investments Wealth, and let's make it something very successful. Sydney, we can close out. Anything you want to add here?
Okay. No, you want to tell them about your social media and where to follow you?
Right. Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in on this first episode, and we're going to bring this to you. Hey, shoot me some ideas. What do you guys want to hear from Sydney? And we're going to poll Morgan's friends out in New York. all of her friends have questions for me. And she's like, hey, my friends have questions about the investing stuff. So I want to make sure I get all of Morgan's people in or get their questions and things of that nature. And sit down with you to go from your perspective and how you're viewing the world. And let's help bridge the gap to get you guys on a path towards wealth and success. Because again, you don't need but a 10 to 15-year plan, but the things that I'm doing and the
Mhm.
stuff that I train on can be done in the background while you're living your life. So I want
Yep.
all the young people to understand that you can start investing at any age, any amount of money. Is about process. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about turning a dollar. If I put a dollar in, how can I get five out tomorrow? We don't do that. Go down the street and get that somewhere else. That's not what we're about. We're about building wealth one investor at a time and teach you how to do it so you're able to train your young folks behind it. Okay. But anyway, guys, we're gonna
Hey,
sign off.
wait, 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 wait. What?
Yes.
Where can we follow? Where can everybody follow you on social media? Tell them
Well,
your
I want
social
you to
media
tell
platform.
me. I think it's at sign Seymour Investments with
That's what it is.
at TikTok
On
and YouTube,
Instagram, YouTube. Yep.
Instagram. And our
Mm-hmm.
podcast is you got to search
Sign
Seymour
more
Investments
investments
Wealth
well on
on
Apple
Apple
Podcasts.
Podcasts, and you'll be able to find us. But I want you, if you like what you've seen, subscribe to that channel,
Yep.
follow, and like. That's what I want you to do. If you do that, we grow. If you're not doing that, we don't grow. We don't do anything. So we want you guys to definitely follow us, subscribe to us, and like our channel,
Yep.
Cyber Investments. And we will sign off, guys, and talk to you later. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.